Did I just fix it? Okay. Minor sound issue there in the beginning. Good morning and welcome to episode 6 of the Demons Clubcast. Had a minor mic issue there, so we all good now. It looks like, oh my gosh, two minor issues. Wow, my shit just reset, didn't it? Okay, there we go. We're all fixed now. So, we're just the three of us today. We're a short one host. It's K13 Meanjoegreen and myself, UncleChowdr. It's pretty quiet week this week, relatively speaking, as far as news and everything. We're gonna start with what we've been playing. Um, Kyle, what have you been playing?
Yeah. I got a little bit further in Alan Wake. Nothing too crazy, but we finished the end of the chapter. We kind of discovered a little bit more about the cult of the tree, who's kind of behind it. I don't know that it's too concrete yet, though, but it appears Mulligan and Thornton are for sure like the cops. Um, I forget if Mulligan was the sheriff or just another deputy. Yeah, but um, they're in it. And then as far as anyone else, I haven't not too sure if like the twins are in on it or not. But one of them kind of more so than the other, but kind of hard to say right now. But it's been super fun. Definitely a lot of puzzles and some crazy little mind twists in there. But just Modern Warfare 3 after that. We played some zombies last night. That was super fun. Uh, I know like there's some grief about it being more open world versus the round based uh, zombies where it came from.
I've
But
spoken my piece about it.
I know, and like it's a popular consensus. So I mean, like I get it. I do see the appeal, and like when I did play it back then, it was fun, but it never was like my thing. So I only played a couple of rounds here and there, and that was kind of it. But the open world aspect I find really fun. The map is gorgeous. A lot of cool little places. I've only played what we did 3 matches, I think. So
Yeah, we did 3 matches.
Still a lot to explore. And then obviously as you get to like the center of the map, it gets more difficult. So it's like you don't really want to be there too long.
So did they add any Easter eggs or anything to the zombies, like kind of like side little missions to kind of shoot for while you're playing the zombies, or is it just kind of like all or nothing, kill as many zombies as you can?
So there's
There's a ton of like objectives and missions for sure.
yeah, so the way it works is like you I guess I'll hop into what I've been playing and kind of talk about zombies cuz I've been playing this quite extensively. Um there's acts. So there's like a whole storyline of things that you can get. There's like a storyline of things, and there's like these contracts that you have in the first act, and they're like little objectives like go buy a weapon off the wall and kill 50 zombies with it, and then pack a punch a gun, kill 50 zombies with it. But then there's like people talking to you while you're doing that stuff. And so I'm assuming there is going to be some kind of more of a story down the road. But as far as Easter eggs, I haven't seen any yet. I haven't really gone searching on the internet though to see what they've put in yet. I'm sure they stuck something somewhere. The map is so huge, I just haven't really like checked out the Easter eggs because I've been really focusing on running around and seeing where all the stuff is on the zombies map, because the way they have it set up is you get in and you have 45 minutes and you have the whole map. There's no gas, and there's the only thing that kind of limits where you go is the difficulty zones. So on that very outside in the beginning, you're in zone 1, and those zombies are the slower, easier to kill ones. And there is a level 1 pack a punch, and then there's a mystery box in that area, and you can go loot houses, find stuff to sell at buy stations to get more money, and then you can complete contracts to get credits and stuff like that. And then as you find your weapon, you can go to a mystery box, buy the weapon. The ray guns in there, the Wonder Waffa, which I did get a Wonder Waffa last night on stream and was messing around with it. And then I got the new Wonder Weapon as well. The Scorcher is what it's called. Um, And you can take those to the Pack-a-Punch. It's 5,000 as usual. And then if you go into zone 2, which is like the orange zone, the zombies there are a little bit faster, a little bit harder to kill. That's where you start running into zombies with armor. And you start running into the little bit bigger bosses like the mimics and stuff like that. And then there's a level 2 Pack-a-Punch in that area. Higher tiered loot as you're looting stuff and doing missions. And there's these, like, my favorite contracts to complete are they're called like Aether. I think they're called like Aether nests, and you go in and there's like these things you got to shoot on the wall. They're like little yellow sacks, and you have to find a gas mask before you go in because it will do damage. And so you're just like running around in there trying to shoot those and kill zombies at the same time and trying to manage your gas mask. After you blow those up, you can loot all the stuff out of the house, and usually you can find like um and because it's kind of based off of DMZ, you can like the stuff that you find you can pull out, and most of it you can go back into the next round of zombies with. So like right now I have a stamina up recipe for a perk, the one of the perk sodas. um and there's, you can get a juggernog recipe. And then I was seeing videos, apparently if you do there's a certain mission that you have to go do, and it's a certain specific order, but you can get a permanent unlock of the ray gun and the Wonder Waffle blueprints to
Wow.
essentially get it every time you're in game, but you have to do it a specific way to unlock the blueprint for it. So
Interesting.
yeah, there is. I mean, it's very much different. It's very much different. I have to say my favorite feature that they've added, weird one, the ability to play in third person. I am loving the third
I like
person.
third person better. I don't love first person. It feels kind of like, I don't know, what's the word? Maybe claustrophobic. I don't know.
Yeah, and I
Oh yeah.
totally and I totally I enjoy first person shooters. That's mostly what I game on, but being able to play the zombies in third person has been a really nice change up. It just makes it feel a little bit different, and you're running around, you can see better, you can see more.
Yeah, I was gonna say that probably makes more sense playing zombies because you're not getting surrounded as easy because you can see more, around you in third person.
Precisely. The only time it gets a little bit hectic is when you're inside of tight buildings and tight spaces. Then it gets a little crowded, I guess, with the camera is a good way to say it. If there's a lot of zombies and it's dark, it gets a little, I don't know, it feels a little crowded sometimes in tight spaces. Then I like to be in first person, but you can seamlessly go back and forth between first and third person whenever you want. So it is kind of a nice, like, if I go into a building that's dark and tight, I will go into first person so I can kind of make quicker snap close quarter decisions.
That makes sense.
Yeah, so it's a good time, honestly, especially if you're playing with friends. I have found that I
Oh yeah,
am.
you have to play with friends in
Yeah.
any zombies game, really. I mean, I used to play solo all the time, and I was on the leaderboards briefly, but I was just sweaty as fuck back in the day on like Black Ops 2. But yeah, if you want to actually have fun with it,
Mhm.
you got to play zombies with friends. I was just sweaty as fuck.
Like if you're just trying to play by yourself, you can play the zombies by yourself, and I was doing it for a while yesterday, where you can drop in and there's a couple missions that are actually pretty easily doable by yourself. So you can run, and you can run through and like kind of do these simple missions in zone 1 by yourself, and they're not too difficult, honestly, a for someone who knows how to play COD and who's played zombies before. It's really not that bad. um
Yeah, not at all. I
uh,
did one of those like my first game by myself.
exactly, yeah, so there is things that you can do by yourself, but the lucrative loot that you want to pull out of the map, that you want to extract so you can have it, is in those higher tier zones. And
Yeah.
that's where you want to go. You want to go for that stuff, and it makes it, like I said, it when you have homies, it's more enticing. The other cool little feature about this being DMZ, in my opinion, so when you load, this is just me, when you load into the map, right, you're not only loading onto the map by yourself, but there are a bunch of other squads on the map, or other players who are playing by themselves.
Mhm.
They're not enemies, which is the thing I like about it the best. Everybody's out doing their own thing and fighting over the same loot on the map, but they can't kill you. Multiple
It was kind of
times.
nice. I was just like not get shot while
Yep,
you're trying to do something like a GTA online sort of
exactly.
thing.
Multiple times yesterday. I got knocked when I was running by myself, and when you get knocked and you're by yourself, you can give up, and then your down state goes. You go into like this down state where you're like knocked and you can't really move or anything, but you can put out a plea for help, and any of the other players on the map who want to or are willing to can come over and revive you. And using the in-game chat, I have convinced people 3 or 4 times now to come over and help me and get me up. And some people will just do it because they're nice people. They come over and revive
Hmm.
you and get you up and let you go on your way and continue, and you don't lose all your stuff. Couple times that's happened for me now. Really awesome, I thought. So I do like that little feature too. It just makes it, I don't know, it's a nice change up, and I'm definitely gonna I'm definitely interested to see where they're gonna take this and what they might add or what they might do, because I hope they put more into this than they did into DMZ in Modern Warfare 2.
Agreed. Yeah, it's been fun. I've liked it, and
Mm-hmm. And
like we
then
were talking about before we started, like we're gonna do a zombie session.
yep,
Like,
yep, exactly.
like I want to play more of it. You know what I mean? Like I never did that with the round based zombies, but uh, I don't know.
Yeah, it's,
I'm like 15 years older too, so my opinions are a lot different.
yeah, exactly. And I guess the only other game I've been playing, just to bring it back to that, is I did play a little bit of Cyberpunk, Phantom Liberty. I played a little bit on stream. I did like I finished the rest of my mission, and then I just wanted to shoot some people at multiplayer and COD, so I saved where I was. But um I can't say enough about that DLC. I think it's a great one, and if you have Cyberpunk 2077 already, check out, watch for the Black Friday deals, because I bet it'll go on sale a little bit. That DLC is worth it. It is so good, and it is so much fun, and it adds tons of awesome things to the game. Um, the voice act.
Quality of life is a huge thing
Yep.
too. Like the game
Hmm.
feels so much better all around.
Yep. Their updates, the update 2.0 was a huge step for them, and they've just improved upon it with the last couple. And the game, even on even on console, the game feels great. It looks great. Everything, I haven't had any glitches that have made me have to restart the game. It has not crashed on me in a long time. That game is in a great place. I can't say enough about it. Uh the voice acting is out of this world. Every time I play that game, it honestly, that game is one of the few video games of recent years that have made me like given me some chills every once in a while. Like, they done such a great job with the music and the voice acting, and I don't know if they used mocap on the faces, but God, it sure seems like it for the actors, because the facial expressions and the way that people look in that game, it's so well done. Like, you can really read emotion on people's face in that game.
Hmm.
Some
Nice.
video games are better movies than some movies now, dude. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
very true. That's very, very
Yeah.
true.
It's
Um,
very cinematic though, and yeah, man, they really, really pushed it hard on that game, and that's kind of why I give it more of a pass. Is like, with the bad release and all that, all the controversy before, I do give it a pass because they have been very hard at work to make it right, even though it is very inexcusable, what they did, but their intentions, excuse me, their intentions were good. Their hearts were in the right place. It was a huge creative scope that they were trying to, or a vision, if you will,
yep. And I'm
and
sure
it
they
just
had
it
publishers.
just didn't work out.
I'm
Yeah,
sure they had
yeah, and
publishers breathing down their neck trying to get them to release the game.
absolutely. That's what I was gonna say. I mean, it was in development for like 8 or 9 years.
Yep.
They did give it a long time, and it
Yeah.
it was way ahead of its time. We do have to give it that, but
Oh,
I feel
absolutely.
like if they would
Yeah.
have waited until now to release it, it would have knocked it out of the park with. It would have won all the awards this year if it would have released in the state that it's in right now,
With
in Phantom
Oh yeah.
Liberty and all that,
Definitely.
and just just the quality of life changes, it would have easily bagged Game of the Year. And
Oh,
and I'm a fellow Baldur's Gate 3 dick rider. You know what I mean?
yeah.
I love
It's
Baldur's
definitely one of the
Gate, but I really think that the masses would have chosen that over, something like Baldur's Gate or even,
yeah,
Tears of the
I could
Kingdom
see that.
or anything like that.
Yep.
It's definitely one of the ones I'm looking out for like Black Friday or Cyber Monday, and as well as like Hogwarts.
Yeah, it's an easy recommendation. It's great.
Um, Joe, what have you been playing?
I've been playing Super Mario RPG, the remake that they just released a couple days
Ooh,
ago.
how is that?
Nice, nice.
Oh, it's fucking awesome. I don't know if you guys ever played the original on Super Nintendo, but it's one of my favorite games of all time. It's basically a Final Fantasy game. It was created by Squaresoft, who is now Square Enix today, but Squaresoft
Mm.
used to make all the Final Fantasy games, and so Nintendo allowed Square to basically make a Final Fantasy game with Mario, and it's fucking awesome. So if you're into turn-based
Dope.
and you want to get into baby's first Final Fantasy, it's great. It's cute. It's fun. It's easy. I mean, it is challenging at times, but it's actually really good. I mean, at the time, it was when it was released, it was kind of considered one of the better Final Fantasy games for the time, even. So
Okay,
it was very popular, and they did a very very good job on this remake. It's
cool.
basically one for one of the original, except they added a bunch of quality of life changes and extra features and just modernized it a lot. So
Okay,
it's an
cool.
easy recommendation.
Mm,
Cool. That's something
nice.
I do have a Switch, and that is something I was thinking about checking out was the Super Mario RPG because it would be kind of fun to have that as a take along game, you know.
Oh yeah, it's good. It's super casual. It's a really good just pick up and put down sort of game.
Yep.
It's not a very long game for an RPG. You could probably beat it in a weekend, honestly. Which
Okay.
for me, sometimes some people say like, "Oh, it's worth so much money. I should get X amount of hours out of it." I mean, you can get as many hours out of it as you want, but if you just want to complete it
Mm-hmm.
and just beat a game and I
I
mean, over a weekend, you could totally, maybe a 3-day weekend, you could totally beat it.
Yeah, I think for me
Nice.
lately I've come to the conclusion that the purchase for me isn't about how much time I'm going to get out of it necessarily. It's about how much I'm going to enjoy it no matter what.
Yeah.
So,
Right. And I mean, to a certain degree,
yeah.
I don't want to pay $70 for, a 2 or 3 hour experience or anything like that. But if I feel like I've gotten my entertainment's
Mhm.
worth and it has maybe some replayability that I can play it again, then
Mhm.
for sure.
Yeah,
But I mean,
it depends on
you
what's in
can
the
be
full
really fast.
package.
Yeah, exactly. How much they're charging is important to me, but sometimes it's nice to just complete a game. When you work 5 or 6 days a week, a lot of people do, and
Mhm.
sometimes you don't have all the time you know, to play games. Even like Baldur's Gate 3, you have to really be dedicated. I mean, my first playthrough of that game was 130 hours.
Yep.
Persona 5 was the same. It was like 110 hours on my first playthrough of that. So there's some great games out there, but sometimes it's great long games, but sometimes it's just nice to have a short experience and feel good about beating a fucking game, you know?
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. No, I 100% 100% agree with you. It really depends on what you're like looking to get out of a game. So, I think this would be speaking of Baldur's Gate, this would be kind of a good time to segment right into the Game Awards. Because there's a couple things there. I definitely wanted to talk about. The rumors are a circling that we're gonna get a Baldur's Gate
Shadow
3 announcement.
drop.
Yeah, we're gonna get a Baldur's Gate 3 announcement slash shadow drop. And there's some people out there in the Twitterverse even thinking that we might even possibly get it in Game Pass.
Yeah, I
Ooh.
think that one's kind of a stretch, but I could see it happening.
Um,
This is Microsoft and they do have the
yeah,
deepest pockets in gaming, so
they
anything is
they
possible.
drop
I would be
bags.
surprised. Don't get me wrong. I would definitely be surprised if it hit Game Pass, but man, I don't think it's gonna happen.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised at a announcement slash shadow drop to purchase at all. I bet you that'll happen.
Yeah.
But the going to Game Pass is a bit of a stretch. I agree with you. If it does go to Game Pass, I'm gonna celebrate like a mofo because That's
Dude, they would have
sick.
to pay so much money to put that on the Game
Oh
Pass. I just
yeah.
like I run the numbers in my head, and with how much it's sold on Steam alone, I'm just like they would have to give them a fucking $1 billion to put that on Game Pass at this point.
Oh
So I
yeah.
don't know how cost effective, but you never know. I've been wrong before, but
Yeah. I
holy
mean,
shit, that would be crazy.
yeah, we'll have to see what happens there cuz I'm definitely interested. It'll
They
be
got to be kicking themselves in the ass for not doing it initially because those leaks were telling
yeah.
about
Oh yeah.
their original thoughts of Baldur's Gate and what an oversight that was because they could have gotten that game so fucking cheap initially. It would have been a day one. It could have been. I mean, Larian came to them, so man, that what an oversight. What a bummer.
Microsoft is really good at that. They did the same thing with Spider-Man.
Wow.
Yeah. Um originally back in the day, the Sony Spider-Man IP was offered to Xbox first and they turned it down. That is a true thing.
That
Oh
is
wow,
disgusting, dude.
Yep.
that's awful.
They
I
have
did not even know that.
they have a history of this, dude. They make bad choices like that, dude. They'll get offered something and they turn it down and then look what happens. But
Yeah, I
Damn.
mean, it is a bit of a different culture on Xbox. You
mhm.
know what I mean? So it is, I have to say, I mean, they probably made the right decision initially because
Also though,
you know what? Go ahead.
what studio at Xbox would have made a Spider-Man game as good as fucking Insomniac has? Like, let's be
Absolutely.
honest.
Insomniac
Yeah.
killed it. Yeah, Insomniac absolutely owned that game for sure. And but yeah, going back to the Baldur's Gate 3 thing with Xbox, I don't think they made it as big of an oversight as everyone says because the Xbox community generally isn't into, those types of games. So I could kind of see where their heads were at on
Yep.
that decision and not putting it on Game Pass. No one saw that coming. No one saw that the success overall coming.
Mhm.
So I mean, they probably made the right decision, business wise. But it's just crazy how big the game got.
Yeah, no, it's I'm definitely excited to see what it does on Xbox. And like I said, I'm probably going to pick that game up. And I'll definitely check it out cuz it's something that I want to play and see if I even like it. I'm pretty sure it'll probably capture my interest at least long enough for one playthrough. So,
The story is so wild that it's hard to. It's kind of like best described as like a train wreck in a way, but in a good way. It's like there's so much wacky shit happening from one scene to the other. You're gonna be like, what in the actual fuck is this game? Where am I? It's so crazy. Like the story is fucking wild and there's going to be times where your girlfriend walks in the room while you're playing the game and you're going to be like, "Oh, this is embarrassing."
yeah, see
That's funny.
that's the other thing. Like I want to stream it, but like I also don't want to
Don't.
stream it. Yeah,
You're going to be
exactly.
embarrassed. Keep this one for yourself. That's why my I don't know.
I have
My
home
mantra is just to kind of beat a game before I stream it just so you know going in.
Yeah, like I have homies who are streaming Baldur's Gate all the time, and like I'll hop in, and like most of the time everything's pretty solid, and there's nothing too crazy going
But
on.
sometimes someone's fucking
Yeah,
a bear
yeah, exactly. But sometimes someone's fucking a bear. It's
or a mind flayer,
that game
fucking
is
aliens and shit.
dude. That game is out there. That game is out
That's
there.
amazing.
Um, but
But I
what?
just love I just love how creative it is. I
Yeah,
mean, it is fucking wacky, but they took so many risks with this game, and I think it's far from perfect, but I think that's why it gets so highly praised, just because there's nothing else like it.
yeah.
Hmm.
I think the Game Awards, the games that are nominated for Game of the Year, it's definitely gonna be a shootout. I wouldn't be surprised at all if Baldur's Gate 3 takes it, but I also wouldn't be surprised if something like Spider-Man sneaks in there and takes it.
Or fucking Zelda,
Yeah.
because Nintendo fanboys are
Oh
rabid
god.
for
Yes,
sure.
they
I'll
are.
I'll agree with that. I don't agree that Tears of the Kingdom should win. I will be surprised, but in the other hand, I'm like Nintendo fans are absolutely insane as
Yeah,
well.
and the
So
fact that they're
we'll
letting
see.
people vote on it, like I don't even want to think about all the people who are like making Smurf accounts to vote multiple
Yeah.
times. You know what I'm saying? Like
They're rabid, man.
yeah, there are people out there that will do that, which cracks me up. I'm just like, okay, well, you,
People will die on the Nintendo Hill, man.
yeah,
Like every year, they think it's just the best thing since sliced bread. Every
even
Zelda release,
even though
and
you're,
I'm a fanboy. I do love Zelda. You know me, like I
yeah,
love Zelda, but I can read between the lines here.
even though we have Samsung tablets out right now that have better specs than the Nintendo Switch.
Oh, dude, it's so anemic now, man. It's so bad.
Like
it's embarrassing.
there are cell phones that have better specs at this point. Like
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
really I
Most cell phones, I
yeah,
would argue, are more powerful than
yeah.
like any cell phone in the last 5 years is more powerful than the Switch.
Yeah, and like I love my Switch. I love Smash Bros. I love Smash Bros so much. That game is that is one game that I will always find myself like wanting to go back to because it's a well done fighting game. Like it's a well done fighting game and all the characters are fun. Mario Kart, I love Mario Kart. It's mostly a nostalgia thing, but Mario Kart 8 is pretty well done, dude. That game was really addicting. I played hours of that game. So,
Oh, I think we all did.
yeah, exactly. So it's like it's one of those, like Nintendo, I think Nintendo knows that they got this strong foothold in everybody's childhood nostalgic hearts and everybody wants to continue to, like every time they release a Mario Kart game, I'm going to want to buy that shit cuz it's fucking Mario Kart. Like they
I
got me
mean, they
there.
have cemented themselves, and that's you definitely nailed it there. They have cemented themselves, and they are kind of one of those companies. I don't want to say that they're too big to fail because they don't have a lot of money compared to, say Microsoft or something like that. But a lot of people remember them still. A lot of OG gamers remember them as saving gaming. There was a time where video gaming wasn't so good, and there was a crash, and they basically saved gaming as a whole. So they have cemented themselves as a company that cares about quality, and um, they do rely heavily on their intellectual property. That's what got them through the whole Wii U generation. They didn't have any third party support whatsoever, so
Mhm.
it is a testament to how great their first party titles are, and how loved they are,
Yep.
because they can have some of the most underpowered hardware out there and people will just gobble it up.
Yep. I
Still
mean,
to this day, I mean, it still sells more in Japan. The Switch still sells more in Japan than any other console right now. So why would they make another one at this point?
exactly. And the thing is Nintendo is, they consistently prove that you don't need groundbreaking graphics and frame rate to have a fantastic game that plays well, that sells a shitload, that is, praised by everyone. They consistently prove that. So it's
Mhm.
I do enjoy that about Nintendo is that they constantly take the stuff that they work with and make great games out of it. Great games. Um I did see
Yeah, it's
though.
amazing.
Oh, go ahead, sorry.
Sorry, I was gonna say, yeah, it is amazing. Like when you strip it all down, and it's like you get more creative with the less that you have. It's because you have all these barriers that you have to get through, so you're forced to be more creative because you're working with less. And I really do have to, especially with like Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. It's a fucking marvel that those games even run on the fucking Switch.
Well,
So
they do, I
it's
know.
crazy. It's crazy what they pull off. It really is.
Yeah. And I'm sure that the Switch 2 or whatever their next iteration will be won't be, you know, a crazy powerful console, but I'm sure it's still going to be something that's going to, it's going to sell gangbusters as per usual. And it will probably be another great portable slash home console. That's the thing that I loved about the Switch is the fact that you can take it with you or put it in a dock and play it on your TV. I did really enjoy that change up, like the fact that I could play Pokemon on a 60-inch screen. That made my day. I was happy as hell about
Mhm.
that. So I
That's
think
pretty cool.
I definitely like watching what Nintendo does just because they always do interesting stuff. Uh
They're in their own world for sure.
yeah, they do interesting stuff like that, and it's always fun to watch. I think I don't know if you guys seen this. This was something I was going to bring up. Everyone was talking about how, I mean, a lot of people on the internet are saying that Hogwarts Legacy got snubbed in the Game Awards, which I kind of agree with. I think it should have at least
Yeah,
got nominated for.
Comparatively, they absolutely did. I
Yeah.
mean, I'm not saying that it deserves to win Game of the Year, but it definitely deserved the nomination over something like, let's say,
100%.
Resident Evil
Evil
4 Remake,
remake.
where it's
Yeah.
just an actual remake.
Yes. That's exactly what I was going to
Yeah,
say.
Like ground up remake, like granted they didn't reuse the assets, but it's like they had the blueprint though,
Yep.
you know what I mean? So
exactly. Yeah,
there should be a category for that,
Yeah.
for remake of the year or whatever, because
yeah.
there
Because
is
then we,
so many remakes nowadays. Like I think it's safe to go ahead and create that category now.
Yep. I
yeah, 'cause
agree.
we'd be talking about like Dead Space versus RE4 right now.
But I think they set the
Yep.
standard last year. I believe there was a remake last year that was also nominated, and I believe it might have even been a Resident Evil game if my memory serves me correctly. Maybe it was the number 2 or 3 remake. I don't remember. Probably 3.
Yeah.
But there was a lot of controversy then, and people were saying the same shit. So it's a great game, and Resident Evil 4 is cherished. It was one of the greatest, in the
Yeah,
whole
it
line
won
of
Game of the
games.
Year back then, or
Yeah, I
was
mean,
nominated.
awesome game, and I'm not trying to take away anything that they did, but it's not in the spirit of Game of the Year, in my opinion.
Yep.
It's not in that spirit.
No, I agree.
Yeah, I would agree.
When I seen Resident Evil 4 was nominated the remake, I was kind of disappointed. I feel like that spot should have been given to Hogwarts Legacy or
Yeah,
Yeah, brand new IP.
exactly. And I
yeah,
did but the good news is though is Hogwarts Legacy was nominated for a Grammy for their soundtrack,
Well, that's good.
which I thought was pretty
it's
cool.
cool.
Yeah, which I thought was pretty cool. Like, they might not be at the Game
It's
Awards, but
something.
they, in my opinion, having a Grammy sitting on the shelf or even a Grammy nomination, that's still pretty
Yeah,
big for a game. So that's pretty awesome.
yeah,
Like,
For
um,
sure, and they still got their bag too. So in the end, they still
yeah,
won.
oh yeah, they definitely got their
yeah.
bag. That game was number one selling game in the UK for months.
I bet.
Yeah, like everybody,
Yeah,
that
I
game,
can imagine.
yeah, that game sold a shitload. And then they just had their Switch release. Now that I will
Oh,
say
nice.
that I will say I looked at some screenshots and a little bit of gameplay. You can imagine,
Yikes.
yeah, you can imagine what
Not very
Hogwarts,
good.
yeah, you can imagine what Hogwarts Legacy is looking like on the Switch. It's not great. I'll just put it that way.
Looking like
Like,
Bro,
GTA 3.
I saw a friend playing it on PS4 and we were like, "Oh my God, what is this going to look like on Switch?
Switch,
Holy fuck." And then it
exact,
drops and I'm like, "Yep, exactly what I expected it."
exactly. Like I don't even, honestly, I don't even know why they decided to try to put that on Switch. Like,
Because there's 200 fucking million Switches in the wild or
yeah,
some shit.
I get that,
That's
but
why.
I guess probably they were like, you know what? They got The Witcher to work. They got The Witcher to work. We could do this.
Exactly. And that's just it.
Yeah,
If there is a will, there is a way. And if there's that much of a player base, they will absolutely find a way to get it to those people.
Yep. So I guess we have Hogwarts Legacy on Switch, and all I have to say is oofta. That's all I have to say is oofta. Um.
Yeah, there has been some rough releases on Switch in general, so I do think it's about time. I think the last Pokemon game launched pretty damn rough, so
Yep.
I think it's about time to update that hardware a
And
little bit.
and like you said yourself, it's a freaking miracle that Tears of the Kingdom is running on that game on that console.
Absolutely, and it's only because Nintendo themselves, working on first party titles like this, they have a lot more access to, the kernel, if you will, of
Mm-hmm.
this hardware. But like these third party devs, they're going to have a lot harder time, optimizing their games for somebody else's console sort of thing. So Nintendo can do a lot more magic with their hardware than some of these, third party guys can. And sometimes Nintendo will come in and even help, because they'll benefit too, so they'll sometimes come in and help these people, put their games on the Switch. But man, just update it already.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree with you on that because I think um it's 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 just it's kind of ridiculous. I that they continue to make these games like this that run, and I'm wondering to myself, like, when is the ball gonna drop? They can't do it forever. Like, there's something's gonna
Yeah, the
happen.
cracks are starting to show a little bit now.
Yeah.
That's for sure. We're getting there.
Yeah, and because I've played Super Mario Wonder, and I definitely I enjoy that, and I think it's a great game, and I love Mario games. But that was another one I was like, I was a little like, I think it definitely deserves some recognition as being another great Mario game, but game of the year?
But it's a fucking Mario
Yeah.
game, and like I love Mario, dude. I'll play every iteration of Mario just because I have my entire life. But even me as kind of like I don't want to I don't like the word fanboy. I'm not a fanboy over anything. I don't die on the hill for anything. But I can recognize that the art direction is a little bit different and they added a couple things, but in the end, at its core, it is a 2D side-scrolling fucking Mario
Yep.
game.
That's what I said.
There is so many more things and other games, like Hogwarts and,
Yep.
Yeah.
among other games that certainly deserve the nomination more.
Yep. That's
Agreed.
why I said game of the year? Like, does it really
Yeah.
deserve game of
Yeah.
the year?
Fuck
That
no.
that one seemed weird to me too.
Well,
Very weird. Yeah.
and I'm sure you guys seen I'm sure you guys seen that post, the Twitter post I brought up in the Discord. Uh they nominated one of the coaches of the year, and he even posted on Twitter. He like posted a picture of the nomination and was like, you guys, I haven't been a coach in a year. What is this about?"
What the
Yeah.
fuck?
Yeah, so like best esports coach, here it is. XTQZ ZZZ Remy Kunan for Team Vitality Counter Strike, and he posted on Twitter. He's like, I haven't been a coach in a year.
Yeah, that's crazy. And I did hear that they let a lot of people like put in like casting votes like way earlier in the year, but that, doesn't
Oh
make
wow.
sense. Sometimes even like like some categories are like the year previous sort of thing. They let them kind of like start casting or whatever, but it's just kind of like they definitely need better organization because, games like Destiny 2 being under all this controversy and also being nominated for like
Best
best community
community support?
support.
Community.
Get out
Like
of here,
that
dude.
was like
Yeah.
that if anything that was like a slap to the face of the Destiny
Oh,
community. It's
absolutely.
like, well,
Yeah,
like
it
who's
was.
who's saying this?
Yeah, because it's not anybody who actually plays that game every day.
It's not us.
Yeah.
Yeah, I quit that game
Yep.
this year, as a matter of fact.
If you in any of the big YouTube content creators that I follow who still make the game, they're having a you could tell they're at a point where they're having a hard time making content, continuously for this game, for Destiny, because the game is not, they're like, are you kidding me? It just irritates me that it even got nominated for best community support.
Exactly, especially after even the last expansion. It was just pretty the writing was on the wall for me. Like I had my fun and me and you played, for as long as I could stand it
Mm-hmm.
essentially. But yeah, I think the writing was on the wall for a lot of people that, it's not the support's not there. Essentially is why I left. So that's kind of why it was like a slap to the face to me. It's like they're
Jeez.
nominating these guys for this bullshit, and I literally left this year because of the lack of support and how shitty this expansion was and how little there is to do.
Yep.
And it's kind of wild.
And also, I just want to throw in there, I personally had a little giggle to myself when I seen that Diablo 4 was nominated for best multiplayer. I was like, okay,
Yeah, yeah.
okay.
And like I'll hand it to Diablo. Like Diablo had a really strong release and I loved that game. I put in so many fucking hours that release. Like I am a Diablo fanboy. I played the fuck out of 3. I have probably 1,000 hours in Diablo 3. Um,
Nice. Hell yeah.
but yeah, I played the fuck out of it with you, Chow,
Yep.
and it was really great. It seemed like it was going to go super strong, and then
Had a,
man, they just
they had a great release, and then they shit the bed right afterwards.
they absolutely shit the bed, man, and it seemed like the support was just for meaningless things and stupid shit. Like I played a little bit of season 2 and I kind of liked the direction that they were going, but I think I'm gonna wait for the next season and see what they have in store there. But
Yep.
I mean, credit where it's due. They had a strong release, and that's really hard to do for a live service game. But other than that, yeah, definitely not a nomination for me.
Yep. And also, I don't like that Cyberpunk was put in the best ongoing category as well.
Yeah, weird, right?
A DLC does not DLC and updates to a game just because it's a single player game. They're updating it because they're fixing the game and making it the way it should have been in the first place. That doesn't mean it's ongoing.
Right,
Does
right,
not mean it's ongoing.
exactly. And we'll all give, credit where it's due again. Like we were just talking about how great it is, how great it is now and that it's fixed and all this, but it really seemed kind of shoehorned in there. It's like, oh, well, we got to give them awards, somehow or another.
Yep.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah, credit where it's due, but
Yep.
that felt very shoehorned.
I do have to say this though. I was thinking about this last night, and I wasn't sure if I was going to bring this up on stream, but I am. I personally think that, and this is just me, I think Baldur's Gate 3 will win Game of the Year. And if Spider-Man does take it, I'm just going to go ahead and call it now. There's a little bit of Sony bias out there. Like, not saying that Spider-Man 2 isn't a great game, but not saying that Spider-Man 2 isn't a great game and doesn't deserve awards, because it is fantastic. From everything I've seen, it looks great. I cannot wait to get my hands on that game. But the amount of numbers that Baldur's Gate 3 put up, and just the praise around that game, the ratings, all that stuff, I'm going to find it really hard to sit here and believe that there wasn't an unbiased touch in the voting if Spider-Man 2 walks away with it.
100%. If it's another like God of War situation,
Yep.
and not to say God of War was bad, it was one of my favorite games of that year. I can't really remember now. Was it Red Dead that it
Red Dead
lost,
2.
or that
Yes, it lost.
Red Dead 2?
Yep. Which
Okay, yeah.
was
That
bullshit.
that was bullshit. Yeah, I loved God of War. I loved the new take on it because I did play all the old ones.
Yep.
It was a great reimagining of it, and they did a very great job. But
Yeah,
But
Red Dead, we're
but-
talking about Red Dead here.
yeah, to sit
yeah,
there and
it should have been Red Dead.
yeah, 100. Well, it was like the
But-
same year that Overwatch won Game of the Year. I was like, get the fuck out of
Yeah,
here! Stop.
yeah, that was
Yeah.
dumb. Yeah, I barfed a little bit in my mouth that year.
I was like, stop.
Yeah.
This is asinine. There's no way that fucking Overwatch should be walking away with that. And I was just as pissed about that, because like, I played God of War. It is a great story. I love how they remade that, like, remade that whole series and reimagined the gameplay. But to sit here and try to tell me that God of War is a more detailed and in-depth game than Red Dead 2 in any way just irritates me. Like, that game is...
I can't even believe that, because of just like the amount of time that I've put in Red Dead, and there's still so much.
Yes. That game...
Yeah,
so
you'll
much.
never see every bit of content in that game. There's so
No.
many little Easter eggs and just little things that you would never imagine, just like if you do certain actions in certain places and bring certain people to certain places.
Yep.
Like, you'll get these
Yeah.
I still find them on the internet, like in my YouTube feed, like people finding these little things in Red Dead, or even Grand Theft Auto 5 for that matter, man.
Oh,
People
yeah,
are still
definitely
finding
GTA
Easter
5.
eggs in that game.
Yeah. Like, let's be honest. Every other game that's in Game of the Year running right now is lucky that GTA 6 hasn't came out yet. That's all we know.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, we know that game's going to win Game of the Year whenever it decides to launch. But going back to the Spider-Man, if that wins Game of the Year, that doesn't deserve it for the same reason that Tears of the Kingdom doesn't deserve it for me. Both great, solid, awesome fucking games, but I really find that it's hard to recapture the feeling of, when we played Breath of the Wild, for instance. Like, that was totally new.
Yep.
Like we hadn't experienced anything in that world, and same with Spider-Man. It's like it's the same location, probably some of the same assets. It's just really hard to recapture the feeling of playing the first Spider-Man game. So for me, it's just like same location, basically. You're just rewriting the story in the same engine, same world, same assets. It's just like that doesn't deserve Game of the Year for me.
They just added another section of New York. That's all they did.
Right. So it's a solid game. Very excited to play it, but after playing the first one and and playing Breath of the Wild. It's just like
And yeah, and
I'm a
same
little bit harder to impress now. Like
same
you
thing
you
with Tears.
captured me on those.
And same thing with
Yeah,
Tears of the Kingdom. You literally just added tiers to the map. That's all you did. You just added some levels that we have to go up to now, and
exactly. And
added
like a
building.
handful of different mechanics. Like
Yep.
our abilities are different now, but some of them act the same as some of our old abilities. They're just better now. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So and not taking away from Tears of the Kingdom, love the game, loved the world, loved everything, but again, just another asset redump in the same world, different mechanics. That's
Yep.
it at its core.
100%. No, I think Baldur's Gate 3 deserves it more than anything because it is a fresh. I mean, it's Baldur's Gate 3, yes, but it's we haven't. It's fresh. We haven't gotten something like this in a minute, so I think it deserves it more than
And
the
you
other
know who's
games.
actually going to win? It'll end up being Alan Wake because we're all saying that
Right.
it's not going to win.
It's gonna be Alan
Yeah.
Wake too.
I don't know
Not to
the
take
last
away
time a
from that
horror game
either,
has
because
one.
I mean, Alan Wake could win. I mean,
Oh
there's
yeah.
we've been blown away by other games before, so it might just be someone really into those games because it seems like the that studio that makes Alan Wake, it seems like their games are always getting nominated
Hmm.
year to year. So
Remedy.
someone is fanboying for. Yeah, Remedy. Thank you.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Remedy is I really enjoy Remedy Studios. I think they make great games. So I think I don't know. I'm definitely excited to watch it. I'm a little disappointed that the Game Awards is on the 7th because I thought about co-streaming it. Like I like to do usually with the big events. I like to co-stream them, but I'm not going to be home for that one. I don't think I'll be able to pull that one off, but um yeah, I'm excited to watch. And we all know why we're really excited to watch the Game Awards because there's going to be trailers. We're going to see trailers.
Yep.
We're gonna
And
see Grand Theft
Teasers and
Auto
all that.
6.
well, see, and
Yep.
that was the next thing I was going to bring up. Do you guys think that Rockstar's going to bring Grand Theft Auto 6 to the Game Awards because I personally think that Rockstar knows this. They don't need to. They could drop a trailer on a fucking Twitter post and that shit will break the internet. It will break the
Absolutely.
internet.
I don't disagree that they don't need to, but it is a lot of fun to generate hype.
Oh
You know
yeah.
what I mean? And we are all about hype in the gaming
Mhm.
community. So they might just throw some money at the Game Awards just for funsies, and you never know. They might have a deal where it's just like, hey, they might have went up to Jeff Keighley and said, "Hey, we don't have to come here. So how about we do you a favor and come here and you pay us?" You know what I mean?
I
It
mean,
could be that kind of it could be a backdoor deal like that where it's so highly anticipated that Jeff Keighley is willing to pay Rockstar to preview it or something. You never know.
listen, that is exactly what I was thinking. Oh, one pause. Calidora, I'm glad you're enjoying the show. Thank you for being here. Um, I think you're 100% right. And if Jeff Keighley was given that offer, he'd be an idiot not to take it because if people, even with just the rumor of GTA 6 possibly being at the Game Awards, I bet you that this year's Game Awards will have more eyeballs on it than any other year. Any other year.
Absolutely. It keeps
I can
growing
see
year
that.
after year. I mean, a lot of these conventions are dying off, but I feel like the Game Awards are still pretty strong.
Oh yeah, 110%. I just think that with if with just the rumor, that shit is got to have people popping off a little bit. Like,
Absolutely, man. I mean, Rockstar has so much pull, and this
oh
is,
yeah.
I mean, I would argue that this is, 90% of people's most anticipated game. You
Yep.
know what I mean? People have been waiting so long. Grand Theft Auto is literally a rite of passage for gamers. If you
Yep.
haven't played Grand Theft Auto, you're not a fucking gamer. You know what
Yep.
I mean?
So it's so much.
Yeah.
The game's got so much pull. We got people fucking breaking onto the stage on shows to scream what way they want GTA 6 on
That was
live
fucked up,
streamed
but yeah.
events. It was fucked up, but at the same time, like I've never seen a game get that kind of reaction out of people. Like people want a new Grand Theft Auto that bad. They're willing to get kicked out of big shows like that so they could get on stage just to scream that they want GTA 6, like scream where it's at.
And shit, that's where we're at, man. It's been way too long.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's a crazy amount of time, man. I didn't expect to even, something like Red Dead 2.
Mm-hmm.
I expected even myself, a Grand Theft Auto, but long before we ever got a Red Dead 2. Not that Red Dead 2 wasn't great, but it just wasn't what I was expecting.
Yep. And I mean,
Yeah,
I
before GTA 6. Yeah.
yeah, and
Yeah,
then
yeah, yeah.
if you were gonna if I had to choose one of those two games, if I had to, I would of course choose Grand Theft Auto because I've put way more time into that series and I love those games. But
Yeah, and we've played Red Dead Redemption 2
yes,
and haven't played GTA 6. That's where we're
exactly.
at.
Exactly. But I just I don't know. There was something like though both of those games are just there it, the Red Dead series and the Grand Theft Auto series, I can't even name really a specific game out of those games are in my top 5. All of those games I have played, I've enjoyed every single one of them. Like I
Yep.
never have a bad time playing a Grand Theft Auto game or a Red Dead game, be it I didn't play very much of Red Dead Revolver way back in the day, their first iteration, but Red Dead Redemption, the first one, shit, I played that game 3 or 4 times all the way through, multiple times. I never played the online, but the story for that game and the story for the second game, like that's why I always get so excited for Rockstar games because their games have the best stories every
Yeah, they
single
Absolutely,
really
time.
man.
do.
They do some of the best voice acting,
Yep.
some of the best
Yep.
storytelling, man. They are so immersive
Yep. I mean,
that
And so the little things too.
they're older games, man. They still hold up to this day because the storytelling, like for me, if the story is immersive, like I don't care what the game even looks like. It can be San Andreas and I'm hooked. You know
yep,
what I
San
mean? And
Mhm.
Andreas is one of the
I'm right
best.
back in it.
Yep,
Yeah.
San Andreas. I was just about to say that everybody here, I'm sure, has played San Andreas for hours and hours and hours. You probably can't even count them
Yeah.
all.
Yeah, I
Nope.
play it like once a year, it seems like.
Exactly. That because that game is just they did such an amazing thing with what they had, and the map was so for us when we first started playing, the map was huge. There was the mountains to go up and explore. There was
Yeah.
pedal bikes in a Grand Theft Auto game. Like
It could work out. Your guy would get fat if he ate too much. Like, dude, it was crazy.
yeah,
Gaming
exactly.
peaked. Yeah, gaming definitely peaked with the Grand Theft Auto series. Like I
Yeah.
feel like we've gotten ever since Grand Theft Auto 5, we've gotten most of what there is to offer in gaming now, and it's been really hard to top that ever
Mm-hmm.
since.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's why every time Grand Theft Auto comes out, they do this fantastic job of essentially they always innovate in such a way where it changes the gaming landscape a little
Yep.
bit.
I was just gonna say that.
Yep.
It's never been the same. Yeah,
Yep.
since maybe like
Yeah.
Grand Theft Auto 3, I don't think it's really ever been the same since
No,
then.
because
It's been
Yeah.
crazy.
after Grand Theft Auto, and I remember the first time playing Grand Theft Auto 3, that blew my little mind. I was like,
Oh
this
my
is
God,
Yeah.
dude.
yeah.
I
I
remember sitting at my friend's PC and just drooling, man. I was like, what is happening right now,
Yeah,
man?
exactly. Like that's the first time that we felt our endorphins kick in for real. was
Seriously though.
was
I
watching
used to
Grand Theft Auto
memorize all
3.
the hidden
Bro, I've
packages
been
on the first
chasing that
island.
high for years.
Exactly. And that's the problem, dude, is like the first time you play a Grand Theft Auto, and honestly, I'm sure I'll probably get a little bit of that feeling back when the new Grand Theft Auto comes out because I did when GTA 5 came out. Like the first time I played Grand Theft Auto 5 on a PS3, like I stayed up till like 2 o'clock in the morning waiting for that shit to download off the disc, and then that first mission, just mind blowing. Like you're just like, oh my god, like I every time I'm so ready for that feeling again. So I
Just find myself driving through the mountains at
yep.
200 miles an hour, launching myself in any which direction for no reason at all.
Yeah, and there's a lot of rumors circulating the internet about Grand Theft Auto right now, obviously. One
Mhm.
YouTuber got I follow, Colt Eastwood, he had like this kind of breakdown about all of the different stuff that we're kind of expecting possibly in this new with the new Rage 9 engine. I think they're at. I think it's at Rage 9. I think the last one was Rage 8 and I think they're at Rage 9 now. Um
Hmm.
we're talking, if our jump from Grand Theft Auto 4 to Grand Theft Auto 5 was anything to tell by, I mean, more realistic driving feeling, better crashes, you know, all the
Yep.
good stuff, all the good stuff. And I can't wait to see what the physics look like in this new one, because that's the one thing that that's another thing Grand Theft Auto has always been really good at, is the physics. I love the way the physics work in that game. Like when you shoot an enemy, the way their body falls, or like when stuff
Yep.
explodes, or like when you
Trip or something.
yeah, when you trip, or when you wreck on a bike and your body's just ragdolling through the air. Like they've done
Or
such a
launch.
yeah,
Yeah.
they've done such a good job at making that look so realistic. And when they added first person mode to Grand Theft Auto 5, and then you go drive a bike through the city super high speed and wreck, and you're wrecking in first person and you can't see what's going on because it's just
So
chaos.
awful.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
They
The good
I
old
can't. I
days.
get dizzy.
yeah, well, yeah, you get dizzy because you're fucking spinning, dude. They did such a good
Yeah.
job at that shit. Like, yeah,
Yeah, the world is just so believable, man. Like it's just like
mm-hmm.
the people react accordingly. It's like just
Mhm.
walking down the streets, listening to the people talk and shit talk you, and it's
Yep.
just so typical Rockstar.
I'm really
Yeah, that's what I
hoping.
was saying. It's really about the little things with Rockstar and GTA for me, like the branding on the cars and businesses and stuff. It's
Yep.
hilarious what they do.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's so good,
They're
man.
I
top
really,
notch.
I really hope that they bring forward from Red Dead that the fucking system where you can talk to NPCs positively or negatively. I love that in Red Dead 2 when you could like walk through a little town and walk into the saloon and like talk shit and like actually sit there and continuously talk shit to someone until they throw a punch at you. Like I thought that shit
Yeah.
was so funny, and I love those little details, and I want them to bring that system forward because you can kind of do that in GTA 5, but not to the extent that you can do it in Red Dead 2. Like you can even walk up and just
Mhm.
have pleasant conversations with people and shit. Like the game is so crazy, all the stuff they added.
Yeah, very, very great details,
Yep.
and like Red Dead 2, you can just like subtly talk shit. You know what I
Yep.
mean? Start a fight,
Yep.
start fights between like two other people. It was
Exactly.
fucking great.
I hope that, and little things that I'm hoping they bring forward, like I loved the way that the bow and arrow felt in Red Dead 2. Like the way that the physics felt on the arrows, and like watching an arrow strike a target and watching the arrow actually like
That is
kind of
fine.
flap and stuff, and the way it sounded. Like they've just done such a great job with all those details and all those sounds. So I'm really excited to see what they do, because I know it will be another game that I sink tons of hours into.
Oh
Yeah, it's
yeah.
gonna be
And
fucking great, man. I
Yep.
just the one thing that I hope that they change is just like some of, and again, not to take away from any Rockstar game, but I just find that like the way they feel mechanically, like moving, I just hope it isn't as clunky, like with I
It's
just hope it doesn't feel like,
it's very
a
heavy.
2000. Yeah, yeah. Just
yeah,
some
I
of the
can see
movement,
that.
like how, kind of like how you have to like tap a button to run. You know what I mean? It just isn't the universal layout that we're all used to. It's just like when we play a Rockstar game, we have to get into that Rockstar mindset of like how to play the game sort of thing.
Yep.
So hopefully that, you were talking about the engine. Hopefully, that kind of, fixes a lot of the problems, because we don't want to have a problem, like with the creation engine sort of situation,
Mm-hmm.
where it just starts to feel too much like a Rockstar game. Like Bethesda games are feeling too much like a Bethesda game now. It's just like
You
let's get
know,
this let's get these engines up to par a
I
little bit,
well,
guys, because you're making great games.
I've always, what I've always wanted, and I don't know if either of you guys have played Max Payne 3.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Okay, if they could make Grand Theft Auto movement and the shooting feel like that, a little bit more like that, you know what I mean? The way that
Yeah, yeah,
Max
just a
runs
little bit more
around.
smoother. Yeah, it
Yeah.
just it
Yeah.
feels it you kind of just like for like I don't know, like I kind of feel like I'm moving like an NPC. It feels almost too gamey. It
Mm-hmm.
doesn't feel like smooth, like how you can run around in COD and it's all smooth, and
Yep.
it feels very gamey moving around in a Rockstar
Yeah.
game. You
Yeah,
know
I
what I
was gonna
mean?
You
say,
can't shift like side to side like easily.
if you see the
Yeah, yeah.
if you see my gameplay right now that's on stream that I'm running, it is the third person zombies gameplay. And
Hmm.
the
Right.
way that
And that
Call of
smooth.
Duty has implemented their third person is so good. Like it's so good. It feels great. Like the way they implemented the animations, like it looks like it's supposed to be in third person and it plays like that as well. And so I really do
Like musical chairs.
yeah, I do really enjoy that, and it would be nice to see a Grand Theft Auto game get to that modern feeling of moving around. But then I ask,
Bro, if Grand Theft Auto could get to the movement of COD, because I'm a COD hater, but credit where it's due. Like they're known for their movements, and that's
oh
what brings
yeah,
a lot of people back. If Grand Theft Auto could capture that feeling, we could be seeing something like a Grand Theft Auto Battle Royale.
oh
You know what
yeah,
I'm saying?
oh yeah. I mean, I mean, freaking,
Imagine that.
it would be, and that's the thing is Grand Theft Auto. That would be that. I've always thought about GTA Online Battle Royale where you have like 50 people in the city that spawn all in different places, and then you just have to race around the city and find weapons and fight as the gas closes in on the Grand Theft Auto map wherever it closes in. And it would be a huge map and it would be a great time. That would be a fun
Yeah,
ass
I mean,
game
if
mode.
done correctly, and they added a stupid little like apocalypse story to it, like a reason why it's happening, and you get to play as like maybe they could bring back like old characters from old Grand Theft Auto
Yep.
games that you could play as, like
And
Trevor or your
exactly.
favorite Grand Theft Auto character from the past, or just if done correctly, I think something like that could really really hit. But I
Undead
don't know
Nightmare was really fun.
Yep.
what's that?
Undead Nightmare from Red
Oh
Dead.
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
That
absolutely,
was amazing.
absolutely. That was great. Yeah.
It would be great to have them instead of do a new maybe oh man, that's just a dream of mine, but instead of them doing an undead edition for Red Dead 2 or a new Red Dead game, just do us an undead DLC for a Grand Theft Auto game. I think that would
Yeah,
be
that'd be
fucking
I
sick.
agree. I
incredible.
agree.
Apocalyptic, like
Yeah,
skyscrapers kind of
there's
half
zombies in
like
the
off.
street.
And,
There's gas stations you
yeah.
can go in and steal food from and find supplies, break into weapons stores, go find, stop at a fucking motorcycle gang's place and raid
Well,
it and take all their
kind of what
guns.
the day before is
Uh,
the new game that's coming.
yeah, the day before. And I did watch some of that. Definitely something I would be interested to play with friends, like I
Hmm.
do like that. Like that's why what the fuck is the name of that game on Xbox? That uh it's like a zombie survival game. It's like third person. The second State of Decay. State of Decay 2. I don't know how much you guys know about that game, but it is like you get put on a huge map. It's third person. There's vehicles, there's gas, there's weapons, there's supplies, and then you have a home base that you build up with your friends and put like defenses on it and stuff like that. And you can build like gardens and like food sources and
Oh,
water
okay.
and stuff. Um, it's a lot of fun, but like at the same time, State of Decay just like it's a double A game. Like it's a good game, but it's a double A. And I would
Yeah.
love to see something like that in a bigger, in the style of Grand Theft Auto with their shooting and the physics and stuff. It'd be so much
A bigger
fun.
budget, essentially. Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be
If
so
they
much
if they
fun.
had a bigger budget, something like that would really take off, I think.
Oh yeah, I think so too. I think Rockstar should just put in maybe that's what maybe you're right, Joe. Maybe they're just gonna stick with GTA Online and then they're gonna release GTA 6 and instead of us getting a new GTA Online, we're gonna get an undead pack.
I wish,
You
man.
better.
I would cry tears of happiness.
Games like that just need like a zombie iteration of like some kind. It
And I mean,
the possibilities are endless,
on
man.
PC, I've seen some crazy mods for PC where you can do that with GTA 5 where people have modded it into like a zombie survival game. But I would love to see them have like Rockstar put their touch on it and add like a story.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You know.
The story side would just be the bee's knees,
Well, and that's the big
just like
Yeah.
Undead
Official
Nightmare was.
releases are always better anyway.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's always the big thing about Rockstar games are, you know, the Rockstar touch. They always find a way to make a story fantastic and they do such a good job of making you laugh at the same time, but then also, the story can get serious sometimes and it really sucks you in and you're like dedicated to finding out what's going on. But then other times there's just ridiculous shit happening and you're like laughing hysterically. Like they've done such a good job at making that world feel like that. So, let's see. Game Awards stuff. I think that's really all I have to talk about there. I don't there's not anything else that really I'm like super upset about or anything. A lot of these games are indie games that I don't know a whole lot about. Um uh and a lot of them are other games that I don't play. Like I'm not a Mortal Kombat guy, so I'd never touched Mortal Kombat 1. Um and so, I can't really speak on anything there. I've heard great things about that game. Um I guess actually I would like to bring this up. I think best performance is going to be taken by Idris Elba for Cyberpunk. After playing that
Yeah.
DLC, I absolutely he he's chilling in that game. His voice acting is so good in that game. I think he's going to take it. I think he's going to take it. But
I don't know. I
I
think
can see it.
I could definitely see it because it was a great performance. But I'm gonna have to stick with Baldur's on this one. The Asterion. Oh my god, dude, he's so animated. It's so good.
It's,
I'm not even gonna sit here and try to defend it if no one's played the game. But oh my god, it's so good.
yeah, I could see that. The other one that I honestly kind of my underdog vote that I kind of would like to win is I'd like to see Cameron Monaghan win for his performance in Star Wars Jedi Survivor, because I did play that game all the way through. Loved the story of that game. I love the story, and I love his performance um as fucking Cal Kestis. I think he did such a fantastic job.
I like the voice actor. He plays in Gotham, so
Yeah, I
definitely
really
I
highly
feel like
recommend.
yeah. I feel like the golden joysticks kind of spoiled a lot of the Game Awards. If hopefully it's not a total repeat, but
Yeah,
man,
I hope it's not a total repeat either, just because like, and I'm not saying Baldur's Gate 3 doesn't deserve all of the recognition, but it would be nice to see, like, I think that like in the where is it? The uh fucking I was just looking at it. God damn it. In the art direction, I would love to see a game like Hi-Fi Rush win the art direction, because where I'm not a huge person into I don't like the beat the beat games where you have to stay on beat, like the rhythm
rhythm games,
games. Yeah,
yeah.
I'm not a huge rhythm game fan. I love the art style of Hi-Fi Rush so much. I love the way it looks, and that it reminded me a lot of the fucking that game on rollerblades that everybody always talks about. I cannot remember.
Oh, shit.
You know what I'm talking. You know exactly what game I'm
It was
talking
on
about.
PS2.
Yep,
Yeah, I know
yep.
what you're talking about.
And I love.
I can't think of it now.
Yeah, I love that like comic booky looky art style. It looks like a comic book, but kind of like an anime at the same time. I love that art style. Like I would love to see that, and I would love to see, um, the in the narrative. I thought that uh Alan Wake 2's storyline is just I love the way that game feels even as you're just watching people play it. Like it when a game puts you in that weird puts you in that like gets you feeling a little anxious. I love that. And Alan Wake 2, every time I've watched it, it makes me feel anxious as fuck. So there's a couple games I would love to see win out on a couple things over Baldur's Gate, but Baldur's Gate is probably gonna slay at the Game Awards. Like everyone knows that. So
I
Yeah, I
haven't beaten
think
Alan Wake, but it's been so fun. And some of the ratings that I've seen on it, just I wouldn't be surprised if it snuck in as well.
yeah, absolutely. It's definitely I'm gonna try to play it before the Game Awards because I don't ever want to rule anything out. I try to, play everything I can get my hands on. But I have watched you play, and I have watched people play the first one. I've watched probably 2 or 3 entire playthroughs of that game. So I know generally what they're about and stuff, and no one
Mhm.
should rule it out because there's been crazier things that have happened at the Game Awards, that's for sure.
Right.
um real quick, we'll switch gears a little bit. I'd like to jump into the Black Friday stuff I was gonna talk about. So some of the bigger deals I've seen on Amazon right now. Excuse me, I just took a dab. um on Amazon, they got Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild for $40 instead of 60. I thought that was kind of a big one. Also,
Nice.
Fire Emblem
Great
Warriors.
game. I still like Breath of the Wild more than Tears of the Kingdom, honestly. I still feel like it's the superior game.
Okay.
Yeah, for a game of the year, yeah, that's a pretty good deal.
And then Fire Emblem Warriors 3 Hopes, instead of it being $60, it's $15. So that's a pretty big slash
Anytime a
there.
Nintendo game goes on sale, it's just surprising to me at all, honestly.
Well, there's quite a few. There's quite a few here on Amazon. Luigi's Mansion 3 is $40 instead of 60. Mario Strikers Battle League is half off, sitting at $30. Super Mario Odyssey is apparently on sale for $40.
Nice.
And you can get the Super Mario Party Joy-Con bundle for $100 instead of $140 right now. Donkey Kong Country Tropical Breeze is half off.
I played that on the Wii U.
And then Best Buy's got a couple other separate deals. Kirby's Return to Dreamland Deluxe is $30 at Best Buy. Nintendo Switch Sports is $10 off. And let's see here. Switch controller deals, not a lot there. I guess that's not a bad. The split pad compact deals for the Pokemon Gengar is $20 off right now, and I was actually just looking at that one. They got some sweet the split pad compacts. They're pretty dope. Just like the little center fucking, I think that's exactly what that is. Let me double check. I think it's in my cart still. Yeah, they're like bigger side controllers essentially, like just bigger Joy-Cons. But they do look, I don't know, they look a little, I don't know, people would have to look at them. I think they look sick, and I think it would be nice to have that wider controller, because I don't really personally like the size of the Joy-Cons as they sit on the Switch. I don't know about you guys.
Can we talk about like how Nintendo hasn't had a fucking class action lawsuit for those goddamn Joy-Cons? Can I sit
Yeah.
here and tell you guys how many fucking Joy-Cons I've had to replace?
You
Or not replace, but
fix
personally fix myself
you
and
fixed
for other
mine.
people.
You fixed one of mine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're not the only one.
Yeah, I know. They are absolutely abhorrent in my opinion about
They're
that.
trash, man.
Yeah.
I don't know how they got away with that. I guess that there was a lawsuit, but they got away with it because you can send them in and have them fixed for free technically, but it's like a goddamn 5-week process or something.
Mm-hmm. So ridiculous. PlayStation's got some decent deals going on. PS5 Black Friday deals. You can get DualSense controllers for $50 in all colors right now. Last of Us Part 1 is $46. Final Fantasy 16 is sitting at $40.
That's another game of the year contender in my opinion.
That should have been.
I haven't played it,
Should have
but
been.
it should have been nominated.
Should have been, but it wasn't, and I agree with you on that one.
That sucks.
For you racers out there who are into Gran Turismo, the Logitech G29 Driving Force Racing Wheel for PS5 and PS4 is on sale for $199. That's actually a pretty decent deal.
Yeah, that's a good deal.
Those are great steering wheels if you're into the racing sim and you really want to get into that. Let's see. Yeah.
Not a deal, but predecessor beta goes live for PlayStation December 5th, and their Xbox just says coming soon. So
is that the Paragon game that you guys were talking about?
Yes.
Yep.
I'm so excited.
The Paragon
big.
revival.
I'm so excited.
So thrilled.
Yeah, I'm so excited about that shit. And I
loved like the MOBA like idea, and I just never was good at League of Legends, but like the third person aspect, and I don't know, I really thrived at Paragon, and just having the homies play it too was really nice. So definitely thrilled to see this come to console.
I have Predecessor on my PC, and it just doesn't run very good. I've messed with the graphics as much as I can. It just runs really crappy on my PC.
Dang.
You can, as of right now, they've added all that controller support, so you can play with the controller on PC as well. super fun, dude. I was having
Mm-hmm.
such a blast playing that game again. I cannot wait for that game to be out on console. For PlayStation and Xbox, I really hope that they're gonna be smart and enable and have full crossplay.
God, I hope so.
Yeah, like Smite does, because Smite has the full
Mm-hmm.
crossplay, and so I really hope that they do that, because like, Smite is okay.
Yeah,
It's
I played it a
okay.
little bit.
Yeah, it's okay, but it just wasn't. It's not any. It's nothing compared to what Paragon used to be. That game was so much fun. The biggest difference
Mm-hmm.
between Paragon and predecessor, though, that you're gonna notice, and I guess kind of near the end of Paragon, it was kind of like that, but the whole card system is completely gone.
Yeah, yep, yep.
Yeah, and that I'm personally okay with and excited for, because I did not like the way they implemented their card system.
I didn't mind it. It just gave you options, but it really became like the just using 5 or 6 different cards.
Yeah, and that's the thing, is like that's what it turned into, and I hated that. Uh,
Yeah,
I personally,
if you're gonna have that many, they all need to like balance each other out.
yep, 110%. I, it was just, I don't know. I was kind of now the card thing, I dealt with it, but it wasn't my favorite implementation. And after playing Smite and the way they have it set up, and then playing Predecessor, it's so much better now. In Predecessor, it's just the gear
Nice.
sets. So I think that'll be a hell of a lot of fun, and that'll definitely be a game that all of us boys will definitely be playing a shitload of, I feel like.
I'm number 2010th in line.
Fuck. But I was also trying to look up some Xbox Black Friday deals, just to kind of throw it around out there. I did see they had some controllers on sale. Let's see here. But with Black Friday coming around the corner, I'm definitely gonna be trying to pick up a um couple different games as they go on sale, just because I do like all of the sales that the stores put on. They always have a decent amount of games on sale. Oh, the console.
Hmm.
You can get an Xbox Series S starter bundle right now for $240. That's a
Oh, wow.
hell of a good deal.
Yeah.
For what?
For the Xbox Series S.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, $240 you can get that right now on their website.
I
It's
saw
like
the
160
promotion.
off, right?
Yeah, that's $60. Yeah, it's $60 off. You're dead on.
Oh, it's 60. Okay.
Yeah,
I
60
was
I
thinking it
bucks.
was
saw a
400. Sorry.
I saw a Verizon promotion that people that can, if you sign up for their home internet this week, they'll give you a free Xbox Series S.
God damn.
Wow. Um, it looks like the Xbox Series S 1 terabyte edition is only $10 off, but they do have a 1 terabyte edition of the Series S. It's black. Oh, the Xbox Series X Diablo 4 bundle is $440. That's also $60 off. The Xbox Series X Forza Horizon 5 bundle is $50 off. That's actually not a bad deal if you're looking to pick up an Xbox for the first time, one of the big boys, and get Forza Horizon 5. That's a fantastic game. It comes with the DLC as well. It's a
Pretty sure
fantastic.
you pretty sure you automatically get 3 months of Game Pass every time you buy an Xbox too. Like in my box, each of mine and Noel's box, we each just got Game Pass for free for
Mm-hmm.
3 months with our new Xboxes.
Yep, and then you get
Oh,
all
wow.
all that access. Looks like they have another bundle for the Series S that's not on sale that I did not know about. That's kind of interesting. It's a Fortnite, Rocket League, Fall Guy bundle.
Whoa.
Yeah, you get a bunch
All
of
the free to play games.
skins and stuff for all of those games included with this purchase.
That's
Nice.
funny that you say that because some of the most rare Fortnite skins are tied to Nintendo Switch exclusives because you had to buy a Switch in order to get the
Yeah,
the skin bundle or whatever.
I
So if you go on eBay and you type in
Oh,
Switch
God.
Fortnite bundle, you'll see like Nintendo Switch bundles going for like $1,500 so people can get that one skin.
That's fucking nuts.
That's amazing, dude.
That's
Yeah, I know.
nuts.
People are fucking nuts, right?
Let's see. Let me pull up the Xbox app real quick here because I can pull up the store. Yeah, I really like the fact that I can shop online for the most part now, because I get Black Friday. Going shopping on Black Friday is just stressful. It's annoying.
Oh,
It
absolutely.
sure is.
Yeah,
My birthday is on Cyber Monday this year, so I'm gonna big chill.
yeah,
Nice.
exactly. Let's see. We'll just put them all up here. Okay, so Xbox has got a lot on the store right now. They got a lot of big sales. We'll just go over a couple of the big ones. Um, they got a bundle right now that, unless you're paying for game, like if you have Game Pass, you can play both of these games. But if you don't have Game Pass and you want both Forza Horizon Motorsport or Forza Horizon 5 and Forza Motorsport, the two new ones, you can get both of the premium editions for those games for $119, and that's usually a $200 deal.
Whoa.
They put it in a $200 bundle, or you can buy it for $120, so that's $80 off.
That's dope. Yeah.
And
It's a good
then
deal.
let's see, does it say how much this is without it? I want to see how much it is without as a gift. Okay, so the base edition of Starfield is $4 off right now. They got it on sale for $4 off. It kind of cracks me up.
Oh yeah.
Just play it on Game Pass, people.
Yeah, play it on Game Pass. Play it on Game Pass. Let's see. Oh, Back for Blood Deluxe Edition is $13.49 right now on the store. Sid Meier's Civilization Anthology upgrade is $20. That's actually pretty dope. I heard that does a lot of shit. I'm not a huge Civilization person, but I do find those games really interesting to watch sometimes, just because all of the
Yeah, my brother plays it a lot, so I'm sure he's checking that out.
all the management just blows my mind. Like it's a lot for me. Dirt 5, the year 1 edition, which has got a whole bunch of extra bonuses, is $16 instead of $80. There's a decent sale there. And Doom Eternal, the deluxe edition, that's one I've been meaning to pick up. That's $17.50 right now. They got some big
Oh,
sales.
nice.
Yeah, a lot of these games, unfortunately, I don't get to see prices because I own a lot of these games. Fallout 4 Game of the Year edition, if you're looking to pick that up, it is $10 right now. That comes with all of the DLC on Xbox. That's a great deal if you've not played Fallout 4, which, I mean, Fallout's not for everyone, but that is a fantastic game in my opinion. I put lots of hours into it. And the last honorable mention here that I see is God, I just scrolled past it because I was looking to see if there's another one. The Gears of War triple bundle on Xbox is on sale on the store for 70% off. So you get Gears 5, Gears Tactics, and Gears Hive Busters. Hive Busters is one of the coolest looking things that they've done. It looks so incredible. The graphics are so fantastic. It's only $24 instead of $80. So that's
dope.
So that's a huge sale. They got good sales online. So
I always wanted to check out Gears Tactics, but I don't have an Xbox.
yeah, Gears. I mean, I said, I don't mind RTS games. I played a lot of Halo Wars. And I have played a lot of Halo Wars. I like playing those types of games on PC better with a mouse and a keyboard, just because it just makes management easier and all that good stuff. But they're good games. I just never. I'm not a huge RTS person. Like I don't mind them. There's certain ones that I'll really get into. Like there's a 360 game that I have that I play all the time. That's RTS, turn-based kind of like management game like that I'll play every once in a while, but most of the time it's not my thing.
Oh, so here's an honorable mention. It is Half-Life's 25th anniversary.
Oh.
So on Steam right now, yeah, I don't know if you guys are familiar with that franchise, but
Mm-hmm.
on Steam you can get Half-Life 1, the first one, for free, as long as you claim it before tomorrow. So that one's totally free, and then Half-Life 2 is only $1, marked down from $10. So get those right now. Go claim the first one for free. I mean, there's no reason not to. And then Half-Life 2, if you have a dollar to spare, definitely get it. Best games of all
Oh
time.
yeah.
I've never even played the first Half-Life.
They're great games. You have to.
Yeah, first one's pretty spectacular. I never played the second one though. Been a
Do it.
long time.
Yeah, they're old as fuck, but do it.
I clicked on the free to play. Like I just added, it says an error occurred while launching this game. No licenses.
Oh, what the fuck? Me too, dude.
It won't let me get it.
For which game? Half-Life?
Half-Life, yeah, on PC.
What kind of dog shit is this, dude? I'm writing a nasty gram.
I'm
Go get it.
writing a nasty gram, he said.
Oh, go to the
That's
store
funny.
page. Actually click the game, and then just go to its actual page, and then it says 100% discount, and then click it there.
Oh, okay, nice.
Okay. Add to account.
You definitely should have played, Sean. It's legendary.
Okay, well
Whole,
I added it to my account. It's there.
the whole like gaming community coming together for Half-Life 2 because it took them fucking forever.
I came to
Yeah.
I pulled up the I wanted to pull up the fucking Steam store just to look at some of the bigger sales, look to see what some of the
They don't
big.
really have too much going on right now, honestly.
Okay, okay. I don't have a whole lot of I don't have a whole lot of
They're,
games honestly on
they're
Steam.
waiting.
I now have Half-Life, but I also have I mean my biggest game on here is probably Spider-Man, so
I guess you can get Call of Duty Black Ops 3. Um, it's $20, but it's
oh
yeah. I mean, if you want Call of Duty games on Steam, they very rarely go on sale because they're full price normally. Like this game will go right back to $60 as soon as the sale is over. So
yeah.
do it
Jeez,
if
that's
you want it.
ridiculous.
But the scary thing is like anything before Black Ops 3 is probably broken on PC due to
Yep.
um, literally people taking over the servers. I don't know if they ever fixed it in Black Ops 2, but you literally had to download a mod because the game was unplayable. Like it was literally taken over by hackers.
Oh.
So the community had to come up with a mod so they could separate themselves to play on separate servers. I don't. It might have been fixed by now, though. I have no idea.
Actually,
That's
there's
crazy.
a couple honorable mentions here for Steam in my opinion. We got looks like not only is Black Ops 3 on sale, but Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War is on sale for 67% off for $20.
Yeah, like I said, be careful. A lot of these old titles are fucking
Well,
broken on
well,
PC.
Cold War is was released after, well, I think it was 2020.
Okay,
It's one of the
okay. You
newer
should be
ones.
you should be good then.
And then Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2019 is also 67% off, sitting at $20. Mafia
Now I
Definitive.
want to bring up Steam charts to see how these games are doing.
Yeah.
Because usually when these big sales go on, there's like an explosion of people on the servers, and it's a good time to hop back in. Because I own Black Ops 2.
Mafia Definitive Edition is 75% off. If you haven't played Mafia, that's a great game. It's $10 on Steam. Arma 3 is $6 on Steam right now. Let's see. And then Sekiro Shadows Die Twice is 50% off, sitting at $30. If you're a FromSoft fan at all and you like Elden Ring and those types of games, this is the game for you. It is difficult and it is fun. And Remnant 2 is 30% off, which is actually kind of shocking. So I heard good things about that
Very
game.
good, very good.
As far as Black Friday deals, that's really all the big ones I got. I'm sure we're gonna see more because it's not even Black Friday, but
Yeah.
the big stores are really pumping out some of the bigger sales, or not bigger ones, but they're bigger game sales on digital right now. They're starting those up. So
Well, surprisingly, there was no real explosion on the Steam charts. It's still Counter-Strike 2, as always, at the top at about 800K. Dota 2 is at number 2, sitting at about 600K. PUBG Battlegrounds, man, still dominating the shooters.
of
Over
course,
200K. Yeah, 200K current concurrent right now. Apex Legends below that at 156K. Baldur's Gate 3, number 5, still 150 fucking concurrent today at this very moment. Call of Duty, I think they combine, let me click it. I think they combine the two. Modern Warfare 3 and Modern Warfare 2 combined have 150K below Baldur's. And then Grand Theft Auto 5, number
that
7 right now.
doesn't surprise me at all.
Fuck no, dude. 122K concurrent, and then Rust, War Thunder, and then Football Manager below that.
I could see that. Yeah, I think that as time goes, we're gonna see more. We're gonna see more people playing more Call of Duties. Just because I do feel like I keep seeing shit about the old ones and the old zombies, and I think with as many people who are disappointed as with the new zombies, I think we'll see a little resurge coming up now that they're all going on sale. I think Cold War zombies wasn't all that bad. I did like the round
I
based.
think any previous zombies before this one, was well, I can't say that because Sledgehammer did release a really shitty one, but that was also the time where they only had 18 months of development. So it's just like, I don't hate Sledgehammer. I don't, hate any one developer that makes Call of Duty games. Treyarch used to be my favorite. But overall, I just want them to have the time to do it. That's,
Yep.
Right.
for
Yeah.
for their sake, like 16 months and to their defense, like to these developers' defense, it's amazing that they put together what they did in the amount of time that they were given. Shame on, these publishers doing that to these devs, but they did a pretty good job for what they had. I don't have anything against the developers, but it's just kind of sad, for their sake, that they had to crunch because, crunch in the industry is never good. It's never healthy. Um, but yeah, I've said all this before.
Yeah.
I don't want to, be on that again. But Cyberpunk is still holding on to the number 22 spot, so that's still killing it right now on Steam. So that's good to see.
That game definitely had a better reception at launch on PC than it did on console.
Because
Yeah.
it ran on PC, bro.
Yeah. Exactly.
We could actually play the game.
It ran on console and you could play it. Was it enjoyable?
Very
I
well.
don't know about that, man.
I beat it on the OG.
It depends on which Xbox. If you were on the OG, man, I was seeing some gameplay online on the OG
I'm
shit,
not
and like
saying
some
it
of those
wasn't terrible.
characters they didn't even have faces and
I'm
shit,
not
man.
saying
It
it
looked
wasn't
bad.
terrible. I definitely
I
beat
mean,
it on the
what's
OG
your
Xbox.
definition? What's your definition of unplayable, though? For some people, it's like, okay, like
When the game
it
stops
kind of
working.
stops when yeah, but for some people, it's like when it stops becoming immersive and fun.
Like I said,
I literally couldn't advance into the story.
It was playable. You just had to fight through some shit. I beat it on the
Yeah,
OG.
and
I beat it on the
so was
OG
PUBG, wasn't it?
Yeah, I beat it. I played that on OG on the VCR Xbox One.
I know.
Anybody
I
could-
remember. I
yeah.
remember watching you play, and I'm like, oh my god.
Anybody
man.
can say whatever they want. I have fought through some shit, okay? And I beat Cyberpunk 2077 on a VCR Xbox at 5 frames per second.
That
That's
game
terrible.
was like it was, in my opinion, if it's deemed unplayable by PlayStation and they remove it from their platform, I think it's rendered unplayable for me. But I was on PC
Yeah.
at the time, but even my graphics card, I was like, yeah, no, I think I'm good because it was still a lot of crashes. Like we were still getting a lot of crashes and shit. Just because the fidelity was there and the frame rates were better doesn't mean that it was good.
Yeah, I mean, it was a better experience on PC for sure than it was on console. But like I said, I beat it. It was rough. I beat it, but it was rough.
Yeah, for
And then
sure, to say the least.
my second playthrough was on my next gen console before the next gen update, and even before they released the next gen version of Cyberpunk, that game was it was night and day difference on this new Xbox. When I downloaded it and tried it again, it was night and day difference. I was like, oh, thank God, I can actually play
Yeah,
this
for
game.
me too. When I upgraded my GPU, I went from like a 2017 era, and my GPU was like in line with, I think, wasn't Grand Theft, or not Grand Theft Auto, wasn't Cyberpunk released in like 2018 or something like that? I don't
I
remember.
think it was
But my
20.
graphics card, go ahead.
I'm gonna have to look. Go ahead. Sorry, I'm gonna look.
But I think my GPU was kind of like not that old at the time. It was like a mid-range GPU, but even it was struggling. But I got this newer one like a year and a half ago or 2 years ago, or I don't remember. But it's a little bit more higher end, and it was definitely night and day after that.
December 9th, 2020.
Oh, 2020. Okay, I was kind of way off there.
No, I mean, God, it feels it when it came. Well, but they like that game should have came out in like 2018 though. They delayed it like 4 times or something like
Yeah.
8,000 times, dude. We saw
that.
previews for it. We saw previews for it 7 years before it released. Like I remember the hype for that game was just through the fucking roof because they kept on just giving like little teasers and they announced it way too fucking early. Oh my god, they announced it 7 years early or something.
Yep. So, I mean, the big thing there is that they I think they learned their lesson, but we'll
I would
see.
guess.
We'll see. That's all we can do. That's all we can say is we'll see. I mean, they're gonna be making another Witcher game soon, I would assume. So I guess we'll
Yep.
find
It was
out.
announced in 2012, man. Holy shit.
Okay, so 8 years before that game, between
Yeah.
announcement and release.
Rough.
That's super rough.
The
Not
first
ideal.
trailer, the first trailer was released in 2000. It was announced in 2012. The first trailer was released in 2013, and then the Keanu
The
Reeves
fuck
thing
did they
happened in
release?
2019.
What was the trailer?
It was literally just a video like preview of like the girl cyborg like getting shot with the bullet in slow motion, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, it was not.
Wicked.
Yeah.
It was not even gameplay at all. It was not even like
Nope.
that game wasn't even alpha at that point. It was just an idea.
That's crazy. A
Um,
little premature.
let's see here. And then I think as far as games and stuff, I think that's all I got. Like I said, I mean, besides the Game Awards coming up, I don't got a whole lot to really talk about. I'm kind of waiting once the Game Awards happens and we get all of our game trailers that we're waiting for, then we'll have plenty to talk about. But
Yeah, there'll be more than enough to talk about here
Oh
soon.
yeah. Yeah, it's been pretty quiet, but Modern
I
Warfare 3's been fun.
I will say the multiplayer, it's got me. It's got its hooks in me. I am constantly wanting to play. This last movement update was excelente in my opinion. The sliding feels good. The sprinting around, I'm liking the way the movement feels. I think it's kind of nice to see Sledgehammer, at least more so than Infinity Ward, actually kind of listening to the community and the
Listen.
feedback that they're
Yeah.
getting on Twitter and stuff. They're like actually trying to put stuff in the updates that people are asking for, it seems like. So all we can do is hope at this
Yep.
point. You said you had some stuff about the actors' contracts and whatnot.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to go too deep into detail because it gets kind of
Uh-huh.
repetitive, but just know that like the actors and writers for the next 3 years are more or less taken care of, and their identities and safeties and all that stuff with AI are in their best interest, at least from what I could tell. I didn't see anything that looked outrageous. I didn't go through their contract by any means. I think they even have it on their website if you do actually want to read the contract. But for the most part, from what I saw, it looked like all good news. So just waiting for the video game stuff. I haven't seen anything new
Yeah,
But
I
that's
mean,
really it for that.
as far as movie stuff goes, we're a little flash update. Me and Kyle were kind of talking about it before the pod started, but uh, season 9's villain in the Flash, the CW's Flash, is the most disappointing villain that we've had yet. I mean, it was sad. I cannot believe it was cringe. The person they chose to play Red Death was cringe. The way they portrayed Red Death was cringe. I did not like it. I do not approve.
Yeah, and
And
if I'm not mistaken, the origin is just so much different too. Like,
yeah,
obviously, like male versus female, whatever. You could still have the same
yep.
background. Like,
I don't
if
care.
I'm not mistaken, Bruce goes back into time as Batman to fight the Flash, and then like ties him down to a car and then like warps him through like the Speed Force. And that's how Red Death is created. It's Batman and the Flash morphed into one, basically.
Yeah, exactly. So
It's so wild.
so they just changed it up so much, and I don't care if female male character on Red Death. I really don't.
Yeah, that doesn't matter.
Yeah, that don't matter to me at all. But it just you could have at least chose someone who was a little bit more intimidating. Like this chick was not intimidating. Like I told you, she tried to do the whole I am vengeance thing, and it just made me
Oh
cringe.
God.
Yeah, she like it just made me cringe. It made me do nothing but cringe. I was like, so this is what this is. Like I'm not a fan. Not a fan.
That's tough. What have you been watching, Joe?
I don't watch.
I don't.
Oh, okay. That's fair.
I, I do
we
watch. Oh, I guess I have
go ahead.
one little last piece of news to talk about. Actually, this kind of made me sad. I watched a video on it last night. Shout out to one of my favorite YouTubers, Mr. Matty Plays. I watch a ton of his videos. He is just as upset as I am. Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic remake is not being worked
Yeah.
on. It was confirmed by the Grubster that the game is no longer being worked on.
They iced it.
They iced it.
Yeah, it sucks.
And Maddie is pissed off. He is pissed. His last video, he was like yelling. He's like, I don't understand.
So
He's like, I work in game development. I understand that it can be hard, but how in the fuck is this hard when you have the blueprint? You have the blueprint for the game.
bro, did you hear the rumors though about Larian's? This is take this with a grain of salt. This is not at all confirmed, but there is rumors that the makers of Baldur's Gate 3, their next role-playing game is going to be a the rumor is they have a license to do a Star Wars game
I mean,
of
listen,
some kind.
that's it. Maddie literally said exactly the fact. He that's exactly. He's like, I want Larian. Give Knights of the Old Republic to Larian.
Give it to them, dude. Oh my God,
Yeah.
give it to them.
Because if Knights of the Old Republic is kind of already in that style a little bit, and they could do
Oh
some
yeah, for
amazing
sure.
things with that game. They could do some amazing things with a remake of that. And a remake of Knights of the Old Republic, fuck, dude, that would sell big time. People would be fighting over copies of that game if it was, you know what I mean? Like that game, I know so many people who love Knights of the Old Republic. I have that shit on my phone. I bought it
Yeah, I
for
don't know how people fuck up these games, honestly, man.
yeah, that's I mean
Yeah.
that's pretty dumb. I mean like everybody was so hyped about that when Sony announced that they were it wasn't Sony that announcement, but it was at a Sony showcase that it was announced if I remember correctly when they announced the remake for Knights of the Old Republic. And that was the rumors that it was going to be PlayStation exclusive, but I don't give a shit about that. I was just excited to see a remake of that game.
Yeah, sad to see, man. It's pretty unfortunate. It's like you said, like you have the blueprint, just get it done.
Yep, that's really the only big other big news I had that I just remembered because I watched that last night. Oh, Maddogg redeeming a dab. All right, Maddogg.
I'll go over the movie stuff. For those familiar with the movies Fear Streets from Netflix, they're developing a new movie into the installment. I think there's 5, and that would make it 6 now. I like the first couple, but kind of lost steam for me. But excited nonetheless. I love horror movies. Chicken Run 2 trailer dropped recently, and that'll come at December 7th or 15th on Netflix.
Chicken Run.
You know, looks cute, looks fun.
Fuck yeah, dude! The first Chicken Run's the best.
Yeah, looks fun, looks cute. It'll be good. December 15th.
Okay.
And super fun about this one, or super stoked about this one. Harold and Kumar is looking to make a fourth movie. Both John and Cal are set to return.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the last one kind of wasn't that great, so I'm hoping they kind of redeem it and send it off on a good note with the fourth one.
Yeah.
We'll see though.
We'll have to see, but that still could be interesting as hell.
Yeah. I don't know if this is like based off a book or anything. There's a movie called Damsel coming out. It's Millie Bobby Brown who plays 11 from Stranger Things.
Okay.
She basically just like escapes from an ice cave and fights what appears to be this massive fucking dragon. So definitely curious.
Okay.
The Marvel stuff. The trailer for Madame Web was released. We got sneak peeks. Well, not sneak peeks, but peeks. It's Sydney Sweeney as Spider Woman. I think there's another Spider Woman. I forget her name. And then Madame Web herself. So a trio of spider ladies.
Okay. Okay.
So and that hits theaters February 14th. Looks pretty decent. I've seen mixed reviews on the trailer, but whatever.
Okay.
Animated film, but I'm super stoked about this one. Merry Little Batman. It's a cute little animation where Joker steals Christmas, so it's kind of like a Grinch playoff. And Damian Wayne, Bruce's son, has to then save Christmas. Releases on Prime Video December 8th.
Okay. Fuck yeah.
I'm so pumped for that. It looks really cute. It'll like kind of corny and fun, so it'll be fun.
Fuck yeah.
And then I think this was released yesterday. Harley Quinn was renewed for season 5 on Max. That show's been booming, so good for them.
Okay.
And then I've just been watching. Emily and I finished Silo season 1 and Twisted Metal season 1. Very cool shows. I thought Twisted Metal kind of was too comedic though, and like I don't know what their budget was, but there was like not enough action.
Okay.
So I'm a little upset with Twisted Metal, I guess, but for the most part, it was a decent show, and it ended well, and I'm stoked for season 2 because it's kind of more going towards like the tournament, battle royale, Twisted Metal that we grew up with.
Okay, I'm excited to see. I'm excited to see that. Maddogg threw in the chat that Snow is set to stream New Year's Day. I'm not sure if it's a series, mini, or movie yet. I don't know what's. I don't know what Snow is.
Is that the Hunger Games thing?
I have to look it up.
Because they have that movie coming, or is out, one or the other. That's like a prequel to the Hunger Games. That's based on I forget his name, Snow, but the guy who runs the whole thing. Silo was really good. It's based off of a book. I don't know if you guys have read that, but really good show. Crazy twist. Definitely worth a watch. And then Monarch Legacy of Monsters kind of came out recently, and there's only 2 episodes available, with the third one coming out this coming Wednesday. Very good so far. Very good.
Is that for Game of Maddogg? Is that for Game of Thrones?
Oh, that one. Oh, okay.
I think it might be for Game of Thrones, but the only thing
I didn't know they were in
a sequel.
I didn't know they're producing.
Jon Snow sequel show this one says could debut in 2028, so I don't know if that's what it's. Oh wait, Game of Thrones Jon Snow spin-off show update 2023 HBO. Let's see, I'm gonna click on this.
Maybe set to produce in 2024.
Oh, never mind. Isn't happening anytime soon, so that's not it. I don't know which one you meant, and he's not replying in the chat. We miss you, Maddogg. Hope you miss your breakfast, bud. Or enjoy your breakfast.
Hope you missed it. Hope you starve.
Hope you starve. Yeah, hope you starve. The only TV announcement I have for those of us who are watching One Piece in dub, like myself and the other nerds who are just wanting to keep up. Another dub alert. We have season 14, voyage 12, episodes 1025 through 1036 will be streaming on Crunchyroll December 12th. So those will be popping up soon. I'm really freaking excited about that because, well, it's more One Piece, so I can't get enough. Can't get enough. And it's One Piece is really picking up. For those who know anything about where episodes 1025 is, essentially, the big baddie fight is just really picking up at Wano, so it's about to get real serious. Everything has really just started picking up, so I'm pretty excited to watch another 12 episodes of that. Yeah, I think that's, I don't got no more TV today, so I think I'm pretty much at a good spot. Anybody else got anything new to bring up?
I think I've about covered it, man.
All right. Well, last thing I'll say before we wrap this up is if you're made it this far, I appreciate you, and thank you for all the support and those who have been listening and joining us in chat as we live stream this. Thank you guys so much. Yeah, Maddogg, miss you. I'll definitely have the upload up as soon as I can. I'm gonna be ordering some food here pretty soon, so but make sure to drop a like and follow on all the links down below. They're all great people. We're all here to have a great time, talk games. Check out the Discord, Demons Club Discord. All the fun stuff is in there. We're all in there hanging out. Great memes, great emotes, some really great emotes. I still, the Dr. Chocolat emote is still my favorite one. Every time I see that, yeah, and Joe says come to Discord for nudes. Yeah, come to Discord for nudes.
Yes.
No promises on who the nudes are of, but they're nudes.
Yeah, there's something.
All right. Well, I hope
Appreciate everyone though. You guys are the best.
Yeah, I hope everyone has a great Sunday, and we'll see you all next week. I was gonna say we'll talk about this real quick, actually, before we hop off. I still would like to do an episode on Christmas Eve. It would be kind of a fun episode to do, Christmas Eve episode, Sunday morning. That is, would be fun, but I don't know what everybody's plans are and who's, going out of town and whatnot. So I guess we'll leave that up in the air. Definitely plan on being here next week because that's after Thanksgiving, so I don't see any issues keeping me from doing the episode. As far as I'm concerned, but for Christmas Eve, we're gonna throw that up in the air and see what people are doing on the holidays. So we might skip a week possibly, but we'll let you guys know. So, again,
I'll be here for sure. So just let me know if you're here.
All right, word. Yeah, I mean, maybe it'll just be a 2-man quick show, but it would be fun to get some homies in and do like a fun Christmas Eve. Everybody just kind of hang out, laugh. We'll talk.
Do like a Christmas refugee stream or something.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Again, thank
you.
You
me,
guys.
I'm game.
Yeah, word. All right. Again, thank you guys for showing up, and thanks everybody for being here in the chat. Hope everybody has a wonderful Sunday. Peace.
I appreciate y'all.